Hello everyone, it's Prajul Patak this side and you're watching my YouTube channel PyGuru. Friends, this is the last tutorial of our Tetris series with Python and pygame. Okay? The only thing that we are left with in our game is that we have to delete the line which gets completed in our Tetris. Like this line, we have to delete it. Then we have to increase the score. Then we have to show what is the next figure that is coming so the player can decide how to play his next move or how to put the shape in at certain places. Okay, then we need to show the score. Finally we just need to display the game over. Okay, so in this last tutorial we will try to cover everything. So first of all, let's try to add how can we remove the line which gets completed. Okay, for this I'm just going to create a method here and we will call it remove line. Okay? A simple like this, remove line, and it will take self. And basically, first of all, we will create a variable rerun and we will just make it false. Why we are making it, I'll explain it when this method completes. Okay, the basic thing is how we are going to detect the line is full. Okay, so first of all, we'll start from the bottom. Okay, and then we'll move to, and we will check each row going up. Okay, so we'll start from this last row and we will check if this is complete or not. If it is completed, we will just delete this row and enter empty row on the top. Okay, or insert empty row on the top. Since it's just a 2D list, so you can delete the entire row using certain methods. Okay, then we will check for the second row if it's complete or not. If not, we'll move to the next row. If not, we'll move to the next row. If not, we'll move to the next row. Suppose if this row is completed, we'll just delete it and then again insert an entire empty row at the top. So this is the basic concept, and let's see how can we implement it. It's very easy. For y in range, and we will start with self.rows -1. Okay, so we are basically starting from the bottom row and we are not starting from the top row because it will give few bugs. Okay, if we'll start searching from the top row, instead we are just searching from the bottom row. Okay, so for y in range self.rows -1, then we'll move till 0. Okay, -1 here. Now what we need to do is first of all we'll just create a variable is full. We'll make it true. Okay, now this simply means we have a variable is full and we are just considering that this line is full. Okay, we are just considering that this line is full. Okay, and then now we are just going to start checking in the x direction. See, when a line is full, when each cell in the x direction has a value greater than 0. When the cell is empty or if any of the cell has 0 in it, okay, it means it's not completed. It's not completed and we have no need to delete it. However, if all the cells in the x direction have a value greater than 0 in any row, it means the line is complete and we can simply delete it. Okay, so here we just initially consider that the line is complete and we will check for if there's any line with any cell which has 0 in it. If there's 0, we'll just make it full. Okay, if not, we'll just delete the line. So for x in range, and here all we need to do is start from 0 and check all the columns. We can do it like this, self.calls. Okay, and we have to check if there's any 0 here. So self.board, and here we need to pass y and then x. Okay, so first the row and then the column. So if any of the columns has 0 in it, it means the row is not complete and we can simply make that is full variable false. Okay, let's just make it false. That's it. This is how we are going to check if the row is full or not. Okay, now the next thing is if this entire for loop gets completed and there's no 0 in it, then this means the line is complete or the row is complete. Then we can just check it like this. If it is full, it means if the row is complete. If there's no 0 in the row, then we have to delete it. You can simply delete a row from 2D list like this, self.board. We can use the del keyword and we need to pass the index of the row. Here our index is simply the y variable. Okay, since we are starting from using this y variable in the for loop, so it will delete the row. The next thing is we need to insert the empty row because it will decrease the number of rows in it. Okay, so we need to insert an empty row at the top. So we can just do it something like this, self.board. Now since it's a list, we can use the insert method, and where we want to insert 0, sorry, at the top, and what we want to insert 0, and just do it something like this. You can use a list comprehension, or you can simply multiply it by let's say self dot calls. What will have same effect? So I'm using the letter method 0 for I in range self dot calls. It will create a list filled with zeros and insert it at the top. Okay. Once the row is complete, we have a variable here. Let's say let's create a variable called self dot score. Initialize it with 0. Okay. So when the row is complete, it means we have completed row. Then we'll just increase the score. Okay. So in this case, let's just add 1 to the score, self dot score plus equals 1. Also, we will check if our score is divisible by 10. Then what we are going to do is, we are just going to increase the level by 1, self dot level plus equals 1. Okay. Now we have level, we are currently playing at the level 1 here. We need to increase the level. So this is the concept. If our score is a multiple of 10, we'll just increase the level by 1. Okay. And here, now we will just make the rerun equals false. Okay. That's it. Now, what does this mean? Suppose if this line gets completed, okay, and the line just above it is also completed. Let's say both these two lines are completed. So what will happen? This line will be deleted and this line will be shifted downwards. Okay. But the for loop will skip this line that is just shifted downward. Okay. So for that case, we have created this variable rerun equals false. Okay. So if any of the line is deleted, this variable will become true. Sorry, we have to make it true. And once it becomes true, the for loop will start once again from the bottom. Okay. Then again it will start checking and it will go up. How? We are just going to make a recursive function. If rerun, then we will just call the function once again, or just call this method. We will just call this method once again. Self.remove line. Okay. Now let's just try to play it once. Okay. Let's wait. We have to call this method. We are not calling it. Okay. We can call it here. When we are praising the shape, then we need to call we don't need to call this remove line method every time. We don't have to check if line is getting completed every time or not. Okay. While the shape is falling, we have to only check once the shape has stopped falling. Okay. It's no longer falling as new shape has generated. Then only we need to check it. So we can just call this method here, self dot remove line. That's it. That will do the job. Okay. So if I'm good, let's just run this and let's see if it works or not. Okay. So let me just play it once and let's see if it works or not. So yes, it looks good. Now just to delete. Yes, it's working fine. We are able to delete the lines. And let's put it here. Let's put it here. Let me just get a vertical line. Yes, so it's working very perfectly fine. Okay, it's looking good. Okay, though we are not displaying the score, it's increasing in the background. Okay, so yes, it's working good. It's good. Okay, now we need to check one thing, that if our board is filled or not. Okay, we can just check it here. Since we have to stop the game once the game board is full, we have to stop the game. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to create another variable here, self dot game over. Okay, we need to, okay, there's some spelling mistake here, game over. We'll just initialize it with false. Okay, once this variable becomes true, the game will get over. Okay, and now when this variable will becomes true, when there's an intersection, once the freeze is called and there's an intersection at the top. Okay, we can just call this method or something like this. If self dot intersects, and so we can simply make the self dot game over equals true. Now how this will work? Okay, see, a new figure is generated, and as soon as it is generated, it encounters the intersection. Okay, when this will happen, when the shape is at the top and as soon it is generated, it encounters an intersection with some other shape at the here. Okay, let's say here. then it means it can no longer fall and it's a game over. Okay, now what we can do, we can just put a condition here, then we don't have to run it every time. We have to check here, if not Tetris dot game over, then only we want to make the Tetris fall down. Okay, otherwise not. So let's just try running it and let's see if it's able to, we are able to get game over. In the last tutorial you have seen that our new shape was being generated even after the board was full. This time it will not happen. Yes, so see, it stops. Okay, it no longer generating the new shapes. So this is how you can just game over. Okay, it looks good. Now the next thing that we want to implement is we want to show which is the next shape that will come in the game. Okay, so we need to show this thing and it's very easy to implement. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do something like this. First of all, I'll create a variable self.next here. Let's just create self.next, initialize it with none. Okay, when this object will be created, Tetris, we will create a variable self.next and will make it none. Okay, it means there's no shape has been generated. Now we'll just come here in the new figure method and we do something like this. If not self.next, it means if the value of self.next is none, it means the game has just started, so there's no shape generated. What we'll do, we'll just do it something like this. Self.next and we'll create an object of tetramino and paste it here. Okay, the next thing that we'll do is it will create an object and it will store in the self.next variable. Okay, the next thing is we'll just pass this self.next variable its value to the self.figure. Okay, so whatever shape self.next has, it will be passed to self.figure and we'll just create a new figure for self.next. Okay, so basically we will be running or creating two shapes at once. One will be stored in the self.next and one will be stored in the self.figure. So self.figure will be have the current shape and the self.next will be having the figure that will appear in the future, that will generated next after this has reached the bottom. Okay, so it looks good, and if I just run this you will not be able to see it because we are not displaying it. Okay, now we have to think of some way by which we can display it. Actually it's very easy. All that we need to do is we have to copy few lines here. So what I will do is I will make a comment here, HUD, HUD. Okay, what is HUD? Basically this part, okay, where we are displaying the score, the upcoming shape, this is part known as HUD. Okay, basically we put buttons here like the stop button, play button, this kind of things. Okay, restart buttons. So here in the HUD part, what we are going to do is first of all, let's just display it. Okay, so if tetris.next, it means if there's a value in the tetris.next variable, then we just need to display it. And how can we display it? Actually it's very easy. We just need to copy this line, paste it here, that's it. Okay, and let's just comment it. Now we are doing it for the next self, not tetris.figure but tetris.next. So tetris.next.image instead of tetris.figure .next. Okay, so here we need to change few things. Tetris.next instead of tetris.figure. That's it, it looks good. Okay, tetris.next, and if we need to change few things here, cell size multiplied by tetris.next.x plus j minus 4. Now we are doing it for a few reasons and I will explain it why we are doing it. Okay, and this will be the for x, and for y we need to shift it here. Okay, we need to display it here, so we are going to do it something like height minus, height is the entire game height, it has 512 value. Okay, then 100 plus cell size multiplied by this.next y plus I. It should do the job. It will display, it should display everything. Okay, so img x and y. If I just run this game, it should do me a favor and display it. Okay, it's not display it because I think because of this line. We have to put it here. Okay, so it was painting above it. Okay, so it's looking good. This is the next shape that will come. See, yes, so it's looking good. Okay, this shape is stored in the self.next variable. If you want to show multiple shapes, you can create a new variable self.next2. Okay, basically this is a concept of swapping. I hope you already know the concept of variable swapping, the value swapping of two variables. That's what we are doing here. We are swapping the value of cell.next to cell.figure, and we are creating a new value for the cell.next. That's it. Okay, then we need to show the score, and for a score we need to load few fonts. Then only will be able to show scores, and that we can do something like this. So first of all, let's just load the fonts, and we can load it here. Let's say load it after assets. Okay, so font. Now I have already a font given in the assets folder. You can just go to the video description, check the code, source code link, and download this assets. Okay, so this is the font that we need to load. In pygame you can load it like this: pygame.font. Okay, this is a custom font, that's why we have to pass it like this: fonts. This is a folder name, and then we have this font. Remember, this is a TTF font. Okay, true type face, I think. I don't remember correctly, but it is something like this, its full form. Then I want to load a second font 2. See, this is a custom font whose TTF file is available in the directory, and we can load a system based font like this: font.this font. Okay, this will load system font. So I can load it like this: cursive, and we need to give the font size, which will be 25 pixels. It looks good. Then we need to show the score. We'll just come here and we'll start showing the score. Okay, so let's just show the score now. So basically, score or text is basically an image, just like a normal image. A text that is displayed on the screen is also image. So we can create text like this, text image like this: font.render. This is the font that we have loaded, and we need to pass the score. So we can pass something like this: tetris.score. Okay, and then you have to pass true, and then you have to pass the color of your score. So I just want to pass white. Okay, this is true because if you want to smooth lines in your score, you need to pass true here. Okay, and similarly I can create one more text to display the current level. Okay, so I can do it something like this: font2 dot render. This is a string, and we need to pass the Tetris dot level here. Tetris. Okay, sorry, inside the curly braces. Tetris dot level. Again true, and then the color it will be white once again. And here let's modify it little, and we will be displaying it like this: level. Okay, it looks good. Now the next thing that we want to do is we have to display it. We are just creating the image here, we are not displaying it. So you can display an image like using this method, win.blit. We have already used it, win.blit, and we have to show the first of all score img. Then we need to pass the x and y position. So x position will be 250 minus score img dot get width. Basically this is a little mathematical calculation to where we want to display our image. Okay, that's it. So by 2 and height minus 110. Okay, similarly win dot blit, and I want to show the level image, and you can do the calculation here. Okay, I'm not doing it. 250 minus level img dot get width divided by 2, and here height minus 30. If I just run this should show the current level and current image. We have some issue here. So HEIGHT, where is the syntax? Invalid syntax. Where it is? Get width by 2. I guess it's because of this line. Okay, so this should work now, and it should display the current score. Yes, so it's showing the current score like this. and the current level also. It's looking good. We just need to change few things. And let's see if it's working or not. It will increase the score. Yes, so it's working fine. Everything looks good. Okay, I'm able to play the game. Yes, it looks good. The next thing that I want to do is I want to remove the grid. I don't want to show it. So where we are displaying the grid, let's just remove the grid thing. Okay, we no longer want it, so we can just remove the grid thing. And yes, it looks more good now. Yes, the game looks better now. Yes. The next thing that I want to do is I want to draw a little rectangle over my images. So I can do it something like this: pygame.draw.rect. Okay. And then the window, then the color, and then the position. So y multiplied by cell size and x multiplied by cell size, and cell size. Okay. Let me just copy it. And also here, let's just pass one. This will be the thickness of the rectangle. Okay. Let me just copy this line and paste it here. So, and here instead of y multiplied by cell size, I will directly pass x comma y, cell size and 1. If I just run this, basically this will draw a little rectangle over the top of the images. Yes, see, it looks better now. It is drawing a white rectangle on the top of the things. Okay, it looks good. If you want, you can also do it for this rectangle also. Okay, the shape in the bottom part. Okay, but let's just leave it. Now I want to implement one more thing. If you press P, the game should pause. Okay, I want to pause the game once we press the P. So you can do it like this. We are just going to create a variable can move. We'll initialize it with true. It means our thing can move, our shape can move. We will check if the value of can move is true, then only. Okay, where we are doing it here. We'll just indent it this thing. Okay, so our shape will only be able to move when the value of can move is true. So initially it's true, then our shape will be moving. We can check for here if you are pressing the P here. How? It's very easy, and you can do it something like this. Okay, space. Let me just copy this line, paste it here. Okay, so if we are pressing for P, so what we are going to do is we are just going to do something like this: can move equals not can move. Now what this means that if the value of can move is true, it will become false. If the value is false, it will become true automatically. You don't have to worry about it. One more thing is I want to check for if we are pressing R. This will just restart the game for us. Okay, and we can do it something like this. If we are pressing for R or not. So if you are pressing R, it will just start the game for us. How can you start it? You can start it like this: Tetris.init, and we need to pass the rows and calls. That's it. If I just run this, this will start the game, or pause the game, start the game. So everything is done now. Yes, see, when I press P, the shape stops falling. Okay, when I press R, the game. Okay, we have some issue here. Name Tetris is not defined here. It's my fault. Okay, so let's try it once again. And the final thing that is left to do in our game is we have to just show the game over screen once the game gets over. Okay, we have not implemented that thing, so let's just try to implement it. Okay, currently the game stops like this. Okay, so if I press R, the game should restart. Okay, it's working, everything is working. The only thing that is left is to display the game over screen. So let's just do it fast. We are going to do it here, just above the HUD. Okay, here. So game over, and I want to display a little window like this: game over. Whenever game will over, I want to display a little window. So I want to display a little window like this let me show you this will appear when the game gets over. It will say game over, press R to restart, press Q to quit. That's it. So we are just going to do it here. So let's just try typing it fast. And first of all we will check if the game is over. So if Tetris.game over, sorry for if the video is getting a little long, but this is the end. Okay, first of all we are just going to create a rectangle. So pygame.rect. okay, you can create a rectangle like this. Then you need to give the x and y position, then the width and height. So width minus 100 and height will be something like height minus 350 pixels. Okay, these are values, integer values. I'm just not I have just created variable for them. Okay, pygame.draw.rect, like this we can create a rectangle win, and then I want it to be a black color, and then you need to pass the rectangle itself. Okay, so we can just pass it like this. Then I want to draw a border of this rectangle of this pink color. Okay, so let's just draw it. Let me just copy this line, paste it here, and you can give a value here for the thickness of the rectangle. If no value is supplied, it will fill the entire window. So I'm just going to pass red here. Okay, so it will create a border of red color. The next thing is I want to display game over. So let's create a over image. Okay, again it's simply a image. So font2.render, and here I want to show game over. Looks good. And then true for anti-aliasing, then white. Just wait a second, let me drink some water. Okay, then the next image msg1, and here we'll be using the font2. Let me just copy these lines and paste it here. Here I want to show let's say press R to restart. If I remember correctly, this was the message, and then message 2, and this will be press Q to quit. Okay, so if I just we have to just display it. So win.blit, and then we have to pass the image. So first of all I want to display the over image, then the position. So rect dot center x minus over dot get width by 2. Okay, so it will just show it at the center with the rect y plus 20. Okay, let me just copy these lines. We have to write only last 2 lines and the game will be completed. So let's display the msg1. So it will be displayed rect.centerx dot again in the center. So msg1 dot get width by 2 and rect y plus 80. And then let's display msg2. So msg2 again it will be in the center. So msg2 dot get width and rect y plus 110. I hope everything should work. If I just run this game, so let me just make the saves fall fast like this. Yes, so it says game over, press R to restart, Q to quit. If I press R, the game starts, and if I press Q, the game quits. So this is the complete tutorial of the Tetris game. I hope you loved it. If you loved it, leave a like or a dislike. If you want to subscribe it. Thank you. See you in the next tutorial game series. Okay.